All right, let's get this going. Make this one quick. Which never happens. Anything to really notice here? CVS is cranking here. Lots of shooting stars on Pfizer. Okay, so I was just looking at Blue because they just reported, and actually, where is press releases? They missed big time, but I want to know why. Okay, where's the financials? Consistent with previous quarters, Bluebird plans provided quarterly update. Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, so like this is great when you bury this down here. You give guidance before you go over your fourth quarter numbers. Okay, blah blah blah. All right. All right, so this is definitely gonna have to be. I should have probably got on that, which I'll have to wait, and I'll later. I'll watch around noon, and listen to the earnings call because why did they miss? All right, let's see if there's anything up here just on. That's financial stuff. All right, so I guess maybe they're expecting a lot. I mean, that is a lot more for the first few months. So there should be a dramatic escalation, I guess, in terms of what they're doing with their therapies, and obviously the revenue should follow. Okay, blah blah blah. 62 treatment centers activated, full year revenue. Okay, yeah, why did they miss so bad? Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe it's just they're like some sort of latent. Regardless, they missed on the market. That's. I mean, I guess we'll have to go do a deeper dive on who gave the guidance or gave those estimates, the consensus on. I guess who skewed it up. Because if there's a couple guys that really skewed it up high, and moved the needle, much higher than everybody else, let's just go. We can take a look at that in a bit. Because that sometimes happens. There's like a few guys who are really the outliers that just skew the whole thing up, which can be good manipulation, allowing them to sneak in. They're setting the bar way up here, right? But then reality is they know it's really here, but, oh, look how bad they missed. And then meanwhile, they're just sitting down here munching on it, right? All right. So you can see that this is the game right now. It's not really a freak out because they're still playing the game. So there it is. It's sitting on this one. So today could be a good day to buy some blue, especially if she bounces up and she ends up finishing the day above probably 125. So here's the low for the RSI, which is a higher share price. So there's potential bullish divergence going on here. She needs to rocket off this. I think the earnings call might help them out enough. What? Yeah. So here, what may not be comparable to the 160. All right, we'll have to. Yeah. Again, I might have to go and take a deeper dive on the why the street was thinking that they were going to be much higher. All right, so blues out. Let's just or blues on. Sorry, I shouldn't say out. It's definitely on. That this is probably where, yeah. So if you grab some, if you came down here and you grab some Viking, you're looking to book some profits. I would definitely try to do it above 80 right here, because I think this anchored VWAP's gonna put the brakes on her. They did have. I noticed that this morning they're starting the oral tablet formulation, so which is big, but it's like, hey, we're starting it. Great, good news. But is it worth the? What were we at? 15, almost. They had what 20 something, 30% bump earlier this morning. So, I mean, it's probably positive that they broke this downtrend here. So, again, we're looking for. Essentially waiting for it to come back down and retest this sucker and confirm that this is still in control. This is something that's a solid support, but we haven't got there yet, so just waiting here. But if you were able to grab something at some point, or you're looking for another spot, you didn't pull the trigger up here, this could be an opportunity for you to do it. TSVT, they had positive updates, I think, yesterday, or no, they've been technical, good movement. Good angle of attack here, too. Broke it, though, but still, they actually have another one right there. So you can see this one right. Come on, there it is. So that's a solid. Oh, that's a solid move. Finished yesterday above. You have this downtrend that's still in control, but the fact that it finished above the anchor VWAP, we're here today. We've got like an amber going on the go, no go. You can see a nice solid uptrend ray. This one's obviously steeper than the down, so it looks bullish. Could be a good spot to add, and then maybe wait for the break of. Yeah, you could anticipate it, especially if it looks strong. Maybe a rejection of the initial up here. Look for a rejection, come down and hit it again. That'd be another spot. So it gets above the 200-day, maybe gets rejected up here, comes back down. That could be another spot for you to add. If you wish to do so. Anybody else you want to look at here? AGRX, oh, that's getting delisted, isn't it? They're going OTC. Such a shame. That was a good trade. That was a good trading vessel for years and years and years. How are we looking here? Gemab, why you up? Nothing. Just technicals here. So we can see why this is working. See, this is in control, right? 1, 2, coming up here. So there's your support, or your uptrend support, right? Then we're above. Broke above, got rejected, came down, bounced off the anchored VWAP from the proximal high. Which one's higher? This one? So that, you can see this got in control. Now we're above this one. So really looking bullish here. Obviously, we have a good amount of volume of 200-day EMA, so I can't imagine it blasting off. But we went from amber to light blue, now 3 days in a row of blue. So it's a bullish move. Breakout in the downtrend, the RSI. Looks good here. So anybody looking to get... Oh, actually, we're above our buy threshold. But which I probably need to adjust at this point. The guys, their earnings have been so strong that you probably have to bump it up, especially on technicals now. This is probably going to be solid support going forward. That being said, where should we find... All right, let's end it there. We'll move on. For the bioreactor, let's take a look at healthy dividends real quick. whatever. She wants to roll over, retest this? Maybe. Hate to say I'm full on CVS, but you know, we grabbed it when it was pretty cheap. I think there's, I mean, this was, you know, a year of just soaking up the obvious underlying support, right? We've been seeing this for so long. There is strength here. It's absurdly cheap. And I'll always say this, like these when you have, especially in healthcare, when you have these like, oh, you know, something bad's gonna happen, like the world would be at zero if CVS or Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer, all these other names that are like, you know, oh, what's happening with these guys? If those names are really that far, like just going to go to zero and it's the worst investment ever, if that's the situation, essentially it'd be the world's coming to an end. That would be what would justify these companies really going to zero. The idea, they are just too big to fail. Yep, we're getting it. That's where we're at today. All these different colors, I'm sorry. I can't because there's just so much stuff right here. I want an anchored VWAP from this, which I bet probably looks. Yeah, it probably goes like this. Probably curls right up from there. All right, I'm gonna end it there. We got 10 minutes to the open. Not much to look at here. I mean, there's still the guys that we've been staring at for a while. Sneaky, yeah, this was, I was gonna say, this one is, you got to keep watching it if you're really wanting to get some OGN. Like, she's struggling here, but the moment this does, that's gonna be probably a major release. She tends to respond to that, right? When there is a break in the trend, there's a nice solid move. It's such a fresh ticker that anytime that one of these algorithms give up, I think there's not like a huge amount of players in it. It can easily move, right? There's such little volume. Like, so there's like there's such low historic volume that at some of these levels, right, it can easily, that like, see, like right here. So when it breaks this, there was very little in its way to see, like this, it came down to here really quick and it can easily come up. Because there's just not years, you can't go back years and years and years and decades and find other areas that these algorithms can hold on to use as support resistance. So when she breaks, she moves. So it's a good trading vessel, biology coming through, that you can use. You know, it's, even though it's a dividend paying, it's a good trading ticker right now. It's volatile because, again, it doesn't have any, like, you can't go back and look at the chart and say, like, well, this is where, you know, these algorithms are going to use for their parameters. So you got to you know, you gotta be vigilant on a dividend stock, which is weird. But and the thing is, what stinks is that, like, although again it being a dividend stock, it doesn't have the greatest options. I think that's the biggest problem, which is you could probably do well with some of the bioreactor growth stocks with options, but the speculative stuff and the bio boom, no. And then the blue chips, maybe if you want to do the buy rights and to do it, I mean, as a way of hedging, and I guess you could do some like really lottery ticket long-term shots at some of these guys if you think it's really gonna, for a reason, it's gonna just move, way beyond what the market has. Maybe you can do that, but short-term options usually not the best way to mess with these big dividends. They just everything's pre-programmed, so it's going to be expensive, and it's more of a way of hedging rather than like trying to find a mispriced option. Again, it'd have to be like you taking a pretty decent size position on some lottery tickets, a year or two out. Oh gosh, what's going on? All right, I'm gonna end it there. Jesus. All right, we'll go with that. Anything else? No, not really, right? No. Probably the same tickers and the watch list. If you guys have any questions, reach out. I have a few more reports I've been working on that should be out soon. And in terms of the overall market, let's just take a look at the Qs. Of course, I go to the Qs instead of the SPY, but yeah, this is not looking great. I mean, the angle of attack from this guy is still there. You can see it, right? It's not going to be... So that's there. That's the steepest one. So she's winning, and then she's got this one that came down from here. So she broke through that. She's kind of stuck in between this. So she's in this, like, triangle right here, right? So if we zoom in... She's stuck in this little... So keep an eye on things like that. So especially in the bioreactor and bioboom tickers, really hone in on this. Where is it gonna go? So look at the parameters for the day. You gotta wait for it to basically break above 470. Well, what is it actually? Let's just take a look. 470, 447. What am I looking at? 447. 447.45 or 444.76. Kind of look at that as the yeah, so she's up a little bit. All right, so yeah, just look for the parameters there, and then maybe, I guess, if she drops below, what a mess. Anyway, we'll end it.